Hi everyone, it's Marcie Besecker, and I am coming to you live. It says live in 2 minutes and 35 seconds on the scheduled reminder, but I'm here already. If you are here, say hi. Oh, is everybody here? I was able to subscribe on my page. Excuse me, not subscribe, but save my video. So I'm trying to make sure we are live. There we go. We are here. Hi, Karen. All right. Whew. So as you guys know, I had trouble doing the whole scheduling my thing for some reason the last couple of weeks that YouTube was just doing little crazy stuff with me, but it seems to be working. Melanie, Karen, Heather, Bonnie, welcome everybody. Heather, thank you for subscribing. You guys, I'm so excited to see you today. I did a little bit of rearranging. As you can see, I've had my craft room the same since I moved in, which has only been a year and like 2 weeks ago. And so we just kind of threw everything in, and then I switched over to Stampin' Up again. So I'm so happy to be back. But I just wanted to make things a little more useful. There was a lot of stuff I had in here that I wasn't using anymore. So Carol, Felicia, Heather, thanks you guys. I'm so glad to have you here. If you are here, please say hi. If you're new, definitely say hi. I would love to chat with you. And I like to chat and craft and have a good time. But I'm going to get some stuff out of the way first. So what I would like to do is just switch over quickly because I know a lot of people don't get to see this at the end because people can't stay the whole time, and I totally understand. Oh, thanks, Felicia. I decided to add a little more product to it today. Thank you, Susan. So I did get a request on how I do my videos. So I'm going to go over that just quickly, and then we're going to get crafting right away. I just don't want to forget this. I've had a note here saying that a couple people have asked, and so today I'm going to do it. But first, if you could subscribe, like, and share, I would so appreciate that. And I wanted to let you know that I am live on Sundays at noon and Tuesdays at 2. I will review this at the end. Hi, Olivia. Susan, welcome for your first time. I appreciate it. So I like to come in and pop in once and again without... Oh, Felicia, reboot. I hate that that's happening to you. Is it Johanna or Joanna? Please let me know how do you say that. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so if you guys catch me live, I do like to pop in between. I don't always get a chance to. Sometimes I go on my Facebook page, which is Marcie Besecker Designs. So find me over there too. But if you click the notifications after you subscribe, then you'll be notified when I do come on and when I'm unscheduled. So I'm hoping to do that a little more often. It's been a crazy week this week, I'm telling you. So marciebesecker.com is my blog. You will find details about this video and other videos that I do with more detail on measurements, how I did it. You know, some people are more visual, some people are more like they like to read directions. So I try to write some stuff over there. November 2020, that's my code. Also, if you go to my blog, marciebesecker.com, on the right side, right below, it says shop my online store. Right below that is always my current host code. So even if it's at the end of the month and it might say December already, that's okay. Use whatever that code is. That just probably means I had to close out my party for some reason. Last month I was traveling, so I think November went up a couple of days early, and that's okay. I just want to make sure I close my party and start a new one for you. So whatever that code is on my blog, that's the one. If your order is over $150, don't use the code. You will be creating your own party with $150 or more, and you'll get all the benefits. I like to just get a party open, use my benefits for freebies and things like that. And maybe some people will request something that I don't have. I can get it and show that to them. So that is how that works. So quickly about how my camera system works. And my YouTube here just kind of shut off on me. So it's been doing that. I don't know why, but it seems to be still on. It just, I think, likes to throw more commercials at me. Hi, Vay, how are you? Okay, I'm hoping I'm still here. You guys let me know. I don't know why it keeps kicking me out and bringing me back in. YouTube is just not being friendly to me, I can tell you that. And now I've got a commercial on my phone, so I can't tell. So if I'm still here, please let me know. All right, so am I still here, you guys? Can you see me all right? Lost connection again. You are. I'm still here. Oh, thank you. I don't know. YouTube just... anyway, okay, here we go. So quickly on my video program. So I am on YouTube. I use a program called Minicam. Minicam is like a third-party program. All right, so I have an external webcam that I just got because my laptop one, I'm on my laptop. My laptop one is not the best camera. My laptop works great, everything's fine, but the camera's not so great. Thanks, everybody. So my external webcam is over there, so I can slide that and move it, and I try not to get my overhead camera in your way. I have an overhead camera here, and I believe Archon is my holder, and it's one of those, it's on the desk and it comes up and over, so it's a really big heavy duty thing. And then I have an external webcam, the same brand. It's a Logitech sitting up here, and it's a Logitech, I want to say it's a 920. Let me look for you. A 920. So it's a HD Pro webcam 920. Okay, so I have an external one here and an external one here. This one's facing down, this one's facing that way. The Minicam program is a program that you can get for free, and it does so much. I prefer to, I paid for it, a one-time fee, and now I have a bunch of windows down below. So I have this window that I can create my logo. Then I have this window, which you can see me, so that's hooked to that camera. I have this window that's going to show you our project for the day, and we're going to change a few things up and see if it looks a little different. Bonnie, I'm glad you're back. Then I have this window, which shows the new mini catalog coming out in January. And see, I don't have to show you all of the windows. So if there's things on here that don't pertain anymore, or I just don't have time to get to, then that's okay. Then I have a little close up here. I'm showing you a little bit of how I'm doing the stems, what I'm doing to the inside. I have the Kirby Christmas that's available now. Hi, Deborah. And so anyway, then I also had this that I put up sometimes, and sometimes I do the scrolling one. It just depends. And so there's pages and pages. I think I have 12 that I can fill up. I could put a little video on there like I've done with Paper Pumpkin that's coming up, and just different things. And so I can also go to the website. So there's a lot of different things that this program does when you pay for it. I don't remember exactly what works with the free one. I know you get so many windows, and I think you could get 2 cameras, and so that's what I use. It's Minicam, 2 external webcams. My phone is right here on my Archon holder. There's a holder there that you can put a laptop or a phone, and I put my phone there on a charger on YouTube so I can see your comments. And on my laptop, I see the picture of the project, so I know that I'm in screen and all that kind of good stuff. So I hope that helps those of you who had asked. And so let's get busy. I want to craft now. So if you have any questions, let me know. if I can't get to them and see them here, I will answer them for you below on the YouTube video. As always, the supplies are listed below. They will also be on my blog and on with more information, including this video. All right, we're going to use the Peaceful Boughs, or Boughs, I guess, Peaceful Boughs, and then the Beautiful Boughs die set. And I know this was out last year. It returned this year. I was not a demonstrator last year. I returned to Stampin' Up! In February. Oh, let me make sure I don't have my autofocus on. I changed it, but had crazy YouTube issues going on, and it came back on. So there we go. All right. So let's get busy. I have some tips and tricks about this. So you're going to notice on the pine cones, there's a little texture behind the colors. You're going to notice that there's brown branches and the green leaves, and I'm going to kind of show you how I created this card. So first I have to tell you that, again, I know I've said this before, but the gold cards and envelopes, $10. And look how pretty these envelopes are. They just sparkle. They're so pretty. They're sturdy. And then the card bases, I mean, it's such a quick, easy way to make a gorgeous card. So that's what we're going to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to die cut out our brown pieces. So we're going to take all of our leaves, all of the pines, and we're going to cut those out. So I'm actually using my new machine here, my cut and emboss, and I know it's going to be kind of close right here, but it'll be really quick. All right. And I use sorry, I dropped my paper. I use a chrome precision plate. Stampin' Up! Used to have precision plates, and they don't anymore, but that's what I like to use. And it just is hard on the bottom. It just gets a nice crisp cut. Although this machine really does cut perfectly with the other boards. But to me, this saves on a board. I only have to use one. And, oops, gotta open it. All right. And it's on paper, so of course it's not going to sit still, and it's sliding because I didn't move my paper, but that's all right. All right. So we're going to move that over. If you saw the space on my desk, you would know why I don't always use this machine to move it back and forth to use. Because I use every centimeter of my desk, trust me. All right, so we're going to punch these out, and I'm going to show you two different options on how to create this, because the first way I created it is like this. Then I made a mistake, and I'll show you what you can do. And if you don't have the color paper that you want, you can definitely use crumb cake, because that's what I did. That's what I cut out. But these are such great dies. And then I just poke these little guys out. You know how I don't like any of these in here, so I take all the chads, get everything out. Hope you guys had a good week. Okay, so I have Christmas tree number 1 up, you know, and my lights outside, which I have not turned on yet, but it's getting close. I think I'm going to do it soon. So I bought a little tree to go in my front window. All my adult houses have never had a big front, hi Chris, a big front window, hi Deborah, looking out the front of the house. It's always been like the kitchen window or a bedroom window or whatever. And when I was little, I always had a big tree in our front window. And I just loved it. I remember when I was young, my mom had a white one. It was flocked with blue lights on it. It was just, not blue lights, blue bulbs and white lights. And it was just so pretty. So I decided to buy a tree for my front window because we have our formal dining area that's kind of one of those hexagon kind of 3 window things. So I thought, okay, that's perfect. Okay, once these are cut out, I'll get back to my tree story. I also cut out some green ones. Okay, so I pre-cut the green ones. And so what I'm going to show you is these are soft suede, and all the colors will be written down, and both options will be written on my blog. And this is Mossy Meadow. Okay, I'm going to bring you in just a little bit so you can see a little closer and kind of fix my light over here. All right, so what I accidentally did, because I did the sentiment here on crumb cake and the back of the pine cones on crumb cake, I accidentally grabbed crumb cake. So all I did is I took a blending tool and I blended these with soft suede. You're not going to see the ends anyway. I wasn't going to waste the paper. So that's what I did. But so we could use either one. And I kind of like the texture of this look versus this look. So it just depends. If you up close, you can see this has some texture to it, and this is just paper. So I'm really liking this. So I'm going to take this away, the soft suede, and I'm going to bring in the crumb cake with the blended on the bottom. Okay, so just take soft suede and blend it on the bottom with a dauber or a blending brush or whatever you have. Speaking of blending brushes, I can find my blending brush that I just used. I know if you guys saw my video with our new products coming up, we will be having blending brushes. So yay! I had to show you that. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put some texture on our leaves. So if you look at the stamps do not match up exactly with our images. So don't worry about that. Set it aside. We're going to grab our small leaf because you're just going to have a little more control. So we're going to grab this one here. All right. And Mossy Meadow. So I'm just going to move that card away a little bit. And now you're going to take your leaves, and I kind of go with the leaves, how they're going. So from the stem out, and just stamp them. And I'm stamping a couple times. It doesn't really matter. You're not looking that the leaves are overlapping or anything like that. You just want to get texture on them. So make sure that there's no open spots on your leaves. You're not worried about the branches. So just kind of go and get the leaves. So there's that one. So see how all the leaves, there's a little bit right there I want to get. All right. And do that to all 3 pieces. All right. So you're just adding some texture, making it look a little more realistic. So there are our leaves all done. I'm just glancing. Oh, see, I missed this little guy right here. So I'm going to add a little branch there. A little bit of branches. All right, now we're going to take our snips and we're just going to take off our pieces. So we're going to hold this one. All right, and what I do is I snip one at a time because I don't want to have to be playing puzzle pieces, right? So let me find my glue here, make sure it's ready to go. I'm going to get it off my fingers. So my Christmas tree, as I'm going to paste these together, so you see what I did. My Christmas tree, I bought this little Christmas tree from Hobby Lobby. It's flocked for the front window. I didn't need a big one. I still need to keep my dining table in there and everything because it's It's just like a nook, kind of. It's not a big dining room, my formal. And so we finally put it up this weekend. And my husband was like, well, we just bought a big tree because our house is bigger. So we bought a taller tree. Our house has taller ceilings than our last house. So we bought this tree and we put it up. And my husband's like, let's try not to spend too much money for the one in the front room because number one, we're never going to see it. It's pointing out the window, and I understand, I like the idea of having it, but let's try not to spend too much because we just bought a big one. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. I just want something little and simple. So I, on sale, got a, I don't know, $250 tree or whatever it was for like $119 from Hobby Lobby. So I got the tree and I got it home and it's been sitting in the box and I've had it, I don't know, a month maybe in my garage waiting for me to put it up. So we put it up this weekend and my husband walks in and says, are you happy with that tree? Hi, Kathy. And I said, well, it was under $100. It's flocked. It's probably half the width I thought it would be. It's a very skinny tree. And so I said, well, it's kind of skinny, but it's fine. So we went outside and I looked in the window to see what it looked like. And the way our windows are, it has like a pillar thing right in the middle. And I'm like, I can't even see it. And so we both just laughed. And my husband says, no, this is not good. So he's like, you need to take that tree back. We're not keeping that skinny little tree. So now we have a new tree on order that hopefully will be here Tuesday. Although I'm not in that big a hurry yet to like turn all my lights on and stuff. I've got my inside of my house getting decorated, but I don't want to scare my neighbors into thinking they have to do it before Thanksgiving. But I'm sure enjoying my tree inside my house now. So all right, so as you see, I'm just leaving these two together because it's not that big of a deal. If you have some brown showing, that's okay. Trees have brown on them, the branches, and I just try to move the green as close as you can, but if you see a little bit, like right here, I'm going to leave that. If you can see a little bit of brown in between there, look how realistic that looks. So needless to say, now I'm going to be getting a new tree that we can actually see from outside. So I'm happy about that, but I want to make that tree like gold and silver, so I need more ornaments now, which I really don't want to go to a store to shop for ornaments right now, but I guess I better do it sooner than later. All right, so we're going to just keep adding these. Now these are here, I just kind of snip them at a little bit of an angle so it doesn't really look like it's been cut. So just kind of do it at an angle. All right, and I'm just putting a light glue. Like I said, if the brown shows, it's not a big deal. I try to layer them up as close as I can, but it's okay if it shows. I kind of like that it gives it a little bit more texture and depth when you do that, right? All right, so again, add a little bit. I just barely squeeze just to get a little bit on. You know how good this glue is. All right, I'm gonna hold it down. Do your guys' hands get really dry in the winter? I know I've asked you this before, but boy, my hands get dry. My husband's like, well, maybe it's all that paper you're working with. Maybe you should take a break. And I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. You guys know I'm working on those gorgeous posy kits, 14 of them. Well, I ended up making it 15 because I forgot. I didn't forget. I kind of decided that I wanted to get one more. So I'm working on those. I'm halfway done. But I'm also working on my Christmas cards, and I will do a video. I'm telling you right now, I think I'm at 11 die cuts so far on my each card. There is sponging going on, well, dauber, sponging, whichever. There's embossing powder, there's embossing folders, there's a lot going on, but I'm super happy how they're turning out. Oh, I am actually looking and thinking about doing an online class. So if you are interested in an online class, it will be Christmas theme. Let me know and I'll make sure that you get the information. If you go to my Facebook page, Marcie Besecker Designs, I will be posting it on there to get some information. And also it'll be under my events, under my blog. So make sure you go to either of those, but just let me know if you're interested. I don't have all the details yet. I'm kind of figuring those out, and I'm kind of coming up with some card ideas, and then we'll go from there. So I'm asked that a lot, so I thought I'm gonna go ahead and do it and create a card class. All right, and that way it doesn't matter if you're local or not. It'll be an online one. What I'll do is I'll create a video showing you how to make those cards. Basically what would happen is you would purchase the kit, which would include the stamp and bundle, the stamp set and dies, and I would mail you all the kits for it. It'll be 6 cards, 3 cards, 2 of each is what it will be. So that, be looking for that. All right, so we've got everything glued here. This one I need to move a little, and you could do this on your silicone mat, so you make sure you don't glue anything to your paper. And like I dropped my glue right there, I'm just going to wipe that off. Hi Lisa, welcome. All right, so we have our branches all done. Look how pretty those are. I mean, doesn't that look better than just doing the green and the brown? And I love paper piecing. To me, it always just comes out so cool and adds so much. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to take a piece of some crumb cake. There's a little scrap piece here. I'm going to take early espresso. We are going to take both of our pine cones, and I like them to get pretty inky. It's hard to see on the video, but you'll see it in person. All right, so we're going to take the large and 2 small ones. All right, so there are our pine cones. And let's see, I gotta grab my tool here. Now we're going to die cut those out. So we have our pine cones here, the large and the small. We're going to take them both. Let me move these out of the way and bring my machine back in. I should move this too because it really just shakes the whole table. All right. We are going to, let's do this too. We are going to also cut out, let's see where my paper is. I think I did soft suede, so let me just get this paper here. No, I didn't. I did espresso. Yep. All right, so we're going to get our early espresso paper. It's funny, I kind of changed up some things. So All right, so what I'm going to do is bring in my machine. I know it's close again, but we'll just make this quick. We're going to put that in there. We're going to do our early espresso. We're going to cut out all the tops of our images. So we need 2 pine cones there, and our pine cone images here. So what I'm going to do is turn this way so I can put the lid, the top plate on, and then we're going to bring this in, and we're going to cut these, and they align up perfectly. All right, ready to go. Oh, Vay, I understand. You could be using that for fun, crafty stamps and things instead of a table, but having a table is really nice. All right, so we are going to pop that one over there. We need to pop this one out because we need to run one more. So let's take that out. All right. I'm going to use my brush here to get all my little pieces out. See, look at that. There they all are. All right, because we want another brown one here, another early espresso. I'll be cleaning this one out. All right, and now we need this one. So these two. And that one. All right, so one more time. You see how easy? I really just need to do it with one hand, except when I had it on top of my paper because that didn't work out so well. It was sliding. All right, here we go. All right, paper back in. Here we go. So there are those. We have our pieces. So we're going to take this again, our next one, just roll it right over. Oops. All right. And there's just those few little stubborn ones left. Get those off. And there we go. Now you could do this on double-sided adhesive. You could do that. But I don't mind putting just a little bit of glue on. And it's not a big issue. But I'm going to try and get these out of my way so I don't lose them everywhere. At least get them on the magnet. I can fix that later. All right, I think I'm losing one. Where's my other one? There's that. See, I've already lost a die. Oh, here. Oh, it's attached. Okay. Hi, Tashana. Welcome back. All right, so we're just going to cut this one out. See how nice that works? Look at that. So that's done. All right, so now we have our little pieces. So there's our tops and our bottoms. And here's our last one, our big one here. I normally do that over the trash can because it's all over, but there we go. All right, so now we're just going to adhere the dark onto the light. And to save time, I have already done that part. So you can see the print on the inside. Probably barely, but it's there. So it just adds, again, another little layer. So now you've got all your paper piecing together. So now I mentioned on my blog, and you'll see when you take a look at it, you could really step this card up. You could actually add another vanilla panel underneath and then pop that up, and then you could also emboss that panel so it gives it a little more texture. You could do the like the woodlands, or just, you know, a texture or anything. So you can keep doing something to move the card, you know, to be a little more technique wise. But I thought this one was a lot of fun, just simple enough to show you how beautiful these envelopes and cards are. All right, so we have our two. I have another one somewhere. What did I do with it? I had three. Here we go. So here are our pine cones and our needles. Okay, so now we're going to bring the card in. Oh, I have lost items. Make sure you look on the bottom of your Stamparatus. Oh, here's a really quick tip, and it has helped me. When you drop a die, so I have a trash can right to my left. When you drop a die and you can't find it and you think it might have went in your trash can, and you have so many little tiny pieces of paper in there that you're like, oh, it's way at the bottom somewhere, grab your magnet off of your Stamparatus and just kind of put it in the trash with all those little papers, and it'll go right to your Stamparatus. I've done that twice and it works perfect. And it just picks it right up. Okay, Karen, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. All right, so now I'm going to pop up our layers. Oh, you know what? Let's do our sentiment. And I'm going to change up the sentiment a little bit. You can see the sentiment. It's in gold. But I'm going to change it up a little bit. So I went ahead and I cut our die out already. So see these beautiful dies? I mean, these are different than most other labels that you see. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I really liked it. Hi, Lisa. When I did that, I was like, God, I was brilliant. I should have been doing that a long time ago, because you don't know how many times I've, you know, taken out of one trash into the other, and I'm sure you know what I mean. But yes, your Stamparatus magnet is such a good, strong magnet. It finds it every time. But look how pretty these are. So it ends up with these pretty little diamonds. I think just really decorates that and looks so pretty. So we're going to use this one. And I love that sentiment, but we are going to do it in black. So what I'm going to do, because I've already cut this out, I'm going to cut another one out really quick because I threw that away. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to do it in the middle because we can always use this later on the outside. So I'm just going to run this through the machine really quickly. And I'm going to show you a little trick. And I did this on my Christmas card. So that's all the information. Uh-oh. Hold on. Avalanche. I have my other machine over to the side, and as I'm trying to use my other machine, it knocked over the boards. Yay. Okay, so what we're going to do, live TV, of course. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our image and our template. All right, I want to make sure I get a really good crisp image. So I'm going to pull out my Stamparatus. I am going to put my template in there. grab the magnets. I love that the magnets store on the back. It's rubber, so I can take this off. I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put my image that I want to stamp on in here. So that just kind of holds it still. And yes, you can put sticky or something underneath if you need to. Then we're going to take this and I'm going to stick my head over the top. I want to make sure it's even where I want it. Okay, that's close enough for me. All right, so now, hi Dawn. So now this is holding your image, and I'm going to look at it like this and hold it up because I'm noticing that my die cut is a little crooked. But I think it's going to be fine, and I'm just showing you how this works. So don't forget that if you want to die cut first, so for example, if you are cutting a lot of flowers, instead of having to die cut out each one and put your die on and go through and put your die on and go through, throw your dies on a piece of paper. And I'll show you because you're gonna know what I'm using for my Christmas cards. Hold on. So I'm using poinsettias. So what I did is I did the die cuts first. So I did my 3 dies, and then what I did is I pulled my paper out. I cut this off like this. I just made sure I had a nice piece of paper to be my template. And now when I turned this paper around, it's still the same template, okay? So it fit on a full half sheet of paper. Then I put this back in. I put my flowers in, and I aligned my stamps up, and I just kept stamping my poinsettias. So I don't have to move off of here. So for example, if I had 20 of these to do, I could stamp this one, move this one aside, grab the next one, put it in. I don't ever have to move this. Okay, does that make sense? So use it as a template, and then you could move. You could just leave this on there. You could tack this down, leave it on, and that's for stamping. Die cutting, I left my dies on here, okay? Drop it on. You can die through 2 pieces of paper, cut through 2 pieces. So your dies are on top of here. So it'd be like this. You're gonna put another piece of paper below this if you had to cut a bunch of them. But if you had more than one paper, I hope this makes sense. And then you're going to lay this down. You're going to put this right there. You have another piece of paper underneath, and you're going to die cut. Now this is on your machine, not on your Stamparatus, of course. You're going to die cut. Okay. So do that first so that they're all in the same pattern like I did with these. Then bring them over here and stamp them all. I hope that makes sense. I will be showing you that in a video upcoming. But if you're doing mass production of Christmas cards, that's the way to do it. Now I'm going to test this again because I don't remember if this paper was up or downwards. Let's make sure that this is fitting. It is not. So I might be guessing that this was like this. All right, let's see. Let's see how this looks. Now that I've moved it around a little bit. Okay, I think that's going to be fine. All right. Okay, good, Lisa. I hope you guys are understanding it. Oh, Norma, let me know how that works out. Okay, so we're putting our magnets back on. We're going to hold this in place. Like I said, if you have 50 of these to cut out, if this is going to be your Christmas card, this is the way to do it. I want it in black this time. I just want to see what the difference looks like. So I'm going to do it in black just so that my sentiment pops. All right, so we've got this in there. Nice. Now, I should probably, I think this is not the right way. This is the right way. This was not. Okay, there we go. I should probably tack that down, but it's not a big deal with you having a template there. Okay, and I'm going to make it just a little darker because it's on dark paper. And you don't want to put too many layers because then it kind of starts to really get thick and some of these little fine letters are hard to read. But see how I was able to just keep going over it? But if you stamped first, you would have to take your die and you would have to position it. They're not all going to look the same, you know, kind of get it where you want it and then die cut it. This way, just die cut out a bunch of what you need, keep your template, and stamp. So I hope that helps. Okay, so we're going to try that in black. Let me just get this off of here. All right. So I hope that made sense. I know that was a lot of ideas. Now what I want to do, see how this just looks really stark and like it, I like how this is. So what I'm going to do is take my soft suede. Now, if I do a white paper, I would probably go with crumb cake because it's lighter. But because this is crumb cake paper, I'm going to take my soft suede and I'm just going to lightly go over it just to give it a little, and you can do as much or as little as you want. And now this is an old blending brush set I had because I already had a brown. I will be switching to Stampin' Ups because I have used this one. And I actually like the handle better. It's a little bit bigger. And I think the head's bigger. I really like ours a lot. I can't wait until they're available to order more. So don't spend your money on other ones. Trust me, the Stampin' Up ones so far are fabulous. They do bend. They're flex because you're not supposed to go really hard. So I just keep a finger on there. It just gives me a little more control. It's all about repetitive inking. You don't want to go super, super hard. Okay, so you just keep going until you get what you want. I'm just going to go a little darker. Right, Lisa. That's what I'm doing with my Christmas cards. And I'm like, all right, let's be smart about this. Not everybody has a scan and cut. So I really wanted to show you a different way that you can make it work. And it works perfect. All right. So now our sentiment's done. I kind of like to have the white in the middle because it looks like it's glowing. And I say white, but the original paper color. So I went around the outside and left the center. All right, I'm going to flip this over so that I don't get color all over the back of my project. Hopefully I don't need to measure or anything. All right, so now we're ready to adhere. So I'm going to take my dimensionals and I'm going to use whatever I can here. We're going to probably use a lot of little ones. All right, so we're first going to put our large branch up here. So it's kind of wherever and however far down you want it. And I think I'm going to go a little more at an angle this time and bring it down here a little bit. Let's take a look. It really does. It really makes a lot of difference. So I want to angle it. So just kind of, you know, figure out your branch. You can always trim that off and just kind of figure out your branch where you want it. You're going to have another set of branches to fill it in up here. So don't worry about that. All right. So we're going to take our little mini dimensionals and just put them on. Find the largest piece that you can put it on. One per branch I think is enough. I just try to put it on the largest piece if you can. I'm going to move that out to the edge a little bit. All right, I'm going to cut that. And then if we go down the stem, my husband wants to go to Costco today because we need to go to Costco. And he's like, oh, do you want to go? And I go, oh, I've got my video, but, you know, go ahead. And he's like, oh, I'll just wait for you. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't really like going to Costco on the weekend. But that's our place of choice to shop, so. You know why, Tashana? This is in your original big catalog. This is year-round. This one's available. And I believe this one was in the catalog last year because I bought this one last year. Because this one reminded me of the old one, and I still have the old one, but I can't remember the name of it, that I loved so much. And so when I saw this one last year, I was like, okay, I've got to have that because I really loved the other one that I had. Okay, so we're just going to lightly lay it. Do not push it down. All right, now we're going to add our dimensionals on here. So let's do our word first. Me too, Felicia, because I returned. I had left, I don't know, 5 years ago. And so I returned in February. And I know that was a big mistake that I left. And I'm so glad I chose to come back. But I did. And so there was a lot of stuff I missed. Obviously, if there were some sets that I wanted, I bought them because, you know, I have a grandchild or, you know, for this or that reason, whatever. All right, let's see. I'm thinking that I need to move this back even a little bit more because I want the sentiment kind of, all right, I think we're going to put the sentiment on first. I want the sentiment kind of like right here. And again, I'm just going to lay it. I'm not going to push it down. And then I want this to just come right there so you can read home. There we go. All right, let's see. Yep, I'm fine with that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this right. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to cut the edge. I'm fine with that. We're going to leave it right there because we're going to be putting a bow up there anyway. Now, all right, so now we have that. I'm good with that. So let's put our dimensionals on the back of our pine cones. So I just did one kind of towards the top. It's the bigger portion. And then on the large one, I did two. All right, so what I did is I did the large first, but let's put this on. We're going to do more dimensions with our second to the largest piece. Let's see where we got. Second to the largest. I'm going to need to cut that one. Who has their Christmas stuff up already? Anybody? Am I the only crazy person starting to get everything up? I'm just ready. I love Christmas. I've been watching Hallmark movies for months now, so it's kind of... All right, I'm going to cut a really skinny one here. And I'm just going to put that right here. All right. Here we go. Now again, you don't want to push this down because we need to get everything in its place. So what I did is I just kind of layer this up. You're filling in some spots. I'm going to tuck it right next to it. Okay, so I tucked it right underneath here. And now we're going to start with our pine cones. So the big pine cone I'm going to have kind of hanging down here. And I'm just tucking the top portion in. And again, we're just going to put, because I think pine cones sometimes are just clustered. So I'm good with pushing those down. And then there's like a little hole right here. I'm going to go up here and just kind of tuck, but layer on top right there. And now I remember I wanted another little foam square right on the bottom. So I'm going to take the top off of this one. It's ready to go because the foam square that's under here, the dimensional that's under here is stuck to this other leaf, and now it's stuck down. Okay, so there's that. And I like how it's just there. That one I put up there, and that's fine. You can do that too. Now you do still have this leaf, so you could still do that if you wanted, or you can put it on the inside like I did here. So I think I may stamp down here a branch. So I think I am, because I kind of like that it comes across the top there. You want to hide that little bottom. And I'm going to use one of my little pieces here. Oh, good, Bae. That'll be fun. My granddaughter's coming for Christmas, so that's why, okay, that's just too much. That's why I'm kind of going all out for Christmas, because she's going to come and be here. So I'm excited about that. All right. All right, so take your little one, just put it where you need it. I'm going to put that one right there. Oops, it's sticking to my finger. And I'm going to do another one. Like right here. All right. And then the little branch is going to stick under. And I'm good right there. All right, so there we go. So on the inside, I've decided I'm going to do a branch. So I think what I'm going to do is, I didn't do this on the other one, but I'm going to do it on this one. And I'm going to take my large block here. And I think, so I think what I'm going to do here is get my mossy meadow out. Move all my mess over. Okay, I'm going to ink up my mossy meadow. I'm going to take a baby wipe and I'm just going to kind of go off just a little bit of the stems. Okay. And I'm going to take my, oops, there's a whole spot I missed. Okay, let's do this again. I want to make sure I get a good image. And then just go right along where the stems are with your nail or your pokey tool or whatever you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be completely wiped off. Branches are green too, right? All right, that's good enough. And now take your soft suede and just go in and color in those branches. All right, now I huff on it. And I'm just gonna, you want to make sure that the branch is off. You don't want to have your floating branch. Oh, look what I did. That's okay. I'll put a sequin. Hi, Kayleen. How are you? And so you can tell that there's a little bit of brown, a little bit of green. Okay, so that's going to be the inside since I chose to do my branch differently, which I'm really happy with. And now a red bow. Now here's another example of the sentiment. This one I did in black and I embossed it. And then I embossed the gold around it also. So it's really just a matter of preference. I mean, you can try all kinds of different ways and ideas. Oh, my camera's shaking because I got something stuck in my drawer and I can't open it. Oh, my foam mat got stuck in my drawer. I just laid it down. So there's all different kinds of, things you can change up on it. You could also do a quick light branch on the green with Versamark and then do a little gold, add a little bit on there to get some ideas of what you want to do. So there's another sentiment idea. Remember, we used, on my original one, I used soft suede, the branches, but I ended up really liking the idea of using crumb cake and then using a blending brush and brushing on the soft suede. So I also have a red bow. I just really think that ties Christmas in. But I think this card could not be Christmas if you wanted like a cabin kind of theme. But I like the red bow. I think it just kind of ties it into Christmas looking. You could put rhinestones on this. I mean, you could put like the gilded gems or anything like that. I think would be a lot of fun to add. Thank you, you guys. I'm glad you liked it. Yes, exactly. Elisa, another thing you could do is you could take your Versamark and just kind of put it on the tips or a little bit here and there, and then use white embossing powder and make it look snowy too. Or you could take flecks of liquid Versamark. I would add a little bit of water to it and get a little kind of not too runny, but a little not so thick, and then splatter and then add white embossing powder for snow. Now, I would probably recommend doing that on the leaves and then on the card maybe a little bit if you want, or just on the leaves before, and the like all this before you could adhere this and put it together on your silicone mat, add your snow, do what you want, and then put it on the card. But you could also have it like, on your sentiment. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. I like how this one filled in better. So by moving that downward, I liked that better on this one. I love the gold, but it is, when I first tried taking pictures of my card to post, it was a little hard to see, which is why I kind of did this picture just so you can, and that'll be on my blog, just so you can kind of see the picture a little better, because the original picture was kind of hard to see. So that's why I chose to try and do it in black this time, and I actually really like the way that looks. I think just because the font and this shadow font really pops and you can really see it really well. So I like them both. I think I like this layout better, so think about that, bringing this down and then adding your extra leaf there. You can always do another one of those and then add it on the inside like I did here. Thanks, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like I said, I do too, Susan. I thought if I had a red-green plaid, that would be so pretty too, but we didn't have that. And I love red on anything, so I was perfectly happy with the red. Again, I wanted to let you know I am going to be doing an online class. I get asked a lot if I do online classes, and I haven't. I've not done that. So I think what I'm going to do is come up with a class idea and some projects. I'll post them. You'll get 3 different images, but you'll get 6 cards. Did you frame gold on the sentiment by hand? So on this one, I used a dauber and Versamark. So I used a dauber and Versamark, and I just kind of daubed around the outside, and then I did it with gold. Yep. And I did it after I did the black. So make sure it's completely dry. Use an embossing buddy if you have it. I've also used a dryer sheet I mean, any of that kind of stuff will work. Or just make sure it's completely dry before you do the gold. So yeah, you can do that. Oops, I'm showing you and you're on the wrong camera. So yeah, I did the black first. Where am I? Black first, and then I did the gold. Because I want to make sure that the black is, centered in exactly where I want it before I did the gold. So what I'll do is you'll get 6 cards. There'll be 3 different designs, so you get 2 of each. So, for example, you would purchase the stamp set and the bundle, and then I would provide you all the kit stuff, and I'll mail that to you. Of course, this has to be U.S. only. And I would mail all that to you. And oh, thanks, Steph. I'm trying to clean it up. It's getting there. My wall looked like polka dots yesterday from painting from all the drill holes from holding up all the ink pad holders, but it's getting there. I like it. So far, so good. So I'll be posting more about the class as soon as I can get all the details. You can get my class information from my blog, which is marciebesecker.com, and I will be posting it on there, but also on my Facebook page, which is Marcie Besecker Designs. I'll be posting it there. I'm working out all the details right now, but it'll be a fun class for sure. So if you're interested, just message me and let me know, and I'll make sure that you get the information as soon as I have it all put together. Okay, so I'm looking over here again to read. Oh, thanks, you guys. All right, well, I really appreciate you joining me today. I hope to see you on Tuesday with a super fun project. And I'm going to get back to my Christmas cards because I have a lot of prep work. We're going to have a class, not necessarily a class. We're going to have a bunch of my customers get together. We're all going to create our Christmas cards and work on our cards. Everybody doing their own projects. But I have a lot of prep work ahead of time. So I'm going to try and get some of that done before we get together and finish creating our cards. So, all right, you guys, I'm glad you liked the project. Again, I had so much fun with you. Thanks for joining me. So this is the project for the day. And another thing you guys were talking about snow, and I thought of is splattering some gold on here. I thought that would be fun too. There's so much you can do. All right, have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I will see you on Tuesday. Take care.